Welcome to Dali. Dali is bigger than you expect. Been here for half a day. Got here yesterday. Had a walk around last night. So, the airport, it's about an hour from Dali ancient city. There's two parts of Dali that I could see. There's the old part of Dali that I'm in now, and there's the new modern side on the other side of the lake. So Dali is split between the new and the old, between this humongous lake. Apparently you can go around it. I doubt you can walk it. It looks too big, but appears to be lots of scooter hire that I can see. Again, I have to find out if you can hire such scooters, if not electric push bikes, for the purpose of a foreigner on a passport. Would have to be Chinese. I have to find out more information on that. But Dali ancient city is a bit like an open shopping centre, outdoor shopping centre. It's very commercialised. It's walled up, and it's got gateways that we'll see shortly. And then surrounding it, you've got where I am now, you've got this suburbia that's been wrapped around the ancient part of the town. Now the ancient part of the town is huge, and I did a walkthrough last night, and it is quite large. You've got all these mazes here, so I know where I'm going this way, so let's just go down one of these mazes. There we go. Again, it's classic. No helmets. It's all prayer and faith when you're riding the cycles and the bikes around here. I don't know if it's compulsory, but I don't think it is. Road rules for them are also a bit dicey. So if there's a gap, sort of do it really. But around the ancient, inside the ancient walls, it's very commercialised. You've got a lot of the known tea shops and coffee shops and ice creameries that you see in all the other tourist locations. You've got, on the outside, you've got suburbia, and that's where you'll see more of the locals go to for their shops. There's fruit markets, a lot of restaurants. And where we're going today, aka you and me, we are going to go up a mountain. I've talked to the information centre in very broken Chinese, very broken, a lot of translation going on. There's 3 cable cars going up this mountain. Now Dali, if you've ever been to New Zealand and you've flown into Queenstown is sort of wrapped around this lake and mountainy sides. So when you're flying in, you're sort of flying in valley-wise. Gave me the same sort of feel flying into Dali as we're wrapped around. Just sucked in some chili there. God. So Dali's wrapped around this side of these villages, it's those mountains. So it's very scenic as you fly in. It's very touristy. So we're getting on to one of the main strips. Main sort of road that cuts down. There's a far gate down the end, but this is heading this way is towards the ancient village. Restaurants, typical, heaps of restaurants, lots of tea shops. It's old, but not as old as inside. And what I found before was information centre talking about the 3 cableways. So the cableways have got a shuttle van service, yellow van shuttle van service, sitting behind the information centre. 5 yuan, that's $1 in Australian money for a ticket to drive you out there. Apparently to the middle one where I'm going, it's going to take about a half-hour walk if you wanted to walk it. I might walk it back just because I can. The middle one goes all the way to the top, so it's got it's a midsection which you can get out and you can look around the midsection and then you can go to the top. So I think the top's around about 3,400 metres high. I've grabbed myself a jacket because I'm not too sure how nippy it's going to get up there. The other two, which is the left and to the right of the central one, they go halfway up. One goes up to a temple, the other goes up to something of interest, I imagine. I didn't pay attention to that one as yet. They're about 130 yuan to go up, around about $26 to go up the halfway way. If you want to go up to the top of the mountain using the big cable car, it takes apparently about an hour to go up. So imagine half hour each way up to the mid and then half hour up to the... So it looks like a sizable trip. That is 330 yuan. I think that's about 66 Australian dollars. So the girl in the information centre advised it could be cold up there, so I've gone back, got my jumper, and the shuttle van goes on the hour. So yeah, I've got another 40 minutes till the next hour, so do a quick walk around the ancient town and then I will wander to the shuttle van service. They call that a train over here. I think it's a translation issue on the app. It calls it a train. I was getting rather confused because I couldn't see any train tracks, so I had to clarify, and yes, it was a yellow shuttle van. So translating apps are hit and miss, I found. Apple translation apps, I've not had much joy with it. Google Translator is quick, also can listen, so you can get the point across. Haven't found it to be overly impressive. I did find an AI translation service which is free, you can pay for it, but the free one actually does a good translation. But you can't record, you're going to pay for it. It's about $14 a month for that service. Okay, so behind me is the mountain. I don't know what to expect for cloud-wise today, because it is a bit cloudy. So I'm going to hope for the best. But here is one of the gates. Pushed by a scooter of death. You can't hear most of them coming. They sneak up on you. There's beep. So you've got these structures. I'll get a double zoom. Hang on. So you can go up some of these. I think we've got time. Let's go and do one anyway. Lots of tourists. This place is going to get packed next week. Next week being the 1st of May. It's another Golden Week. I don't think it's going to be as brutal as the Golden Week they had a few months ago for the Chinese New Year. This one, just so I understand it, they go back people go back to see family for a couple of days and then they go and be tourists. So Dali is a tourist destination. In a few nights' time I'll be heading down to another tourist town, but it's not so touristy apparently. So hopefully I should be able to park myself there for 5 nights, wait it out. I did notice that booking a train service from Dali before the first seats were getting limited. I think there's a lot of people travelling. Oh. Here's something you see all the time. Web bloggers. Let's get a closer. She's got 3 cameras.
爱都是开始的很美丽，结束的没道理，想想是很可惜。也许应该多陪陪你，应该体谅你彷徨的情绪。可是我不寂寞的心里，不确定的轨迹，明天会在哪里？而我还有什么能够留给你？ 大千离开你，留下几个字给你。心若像潮汐，梦如果决堤，爱就。
She's got quite the rig. 3 cameras, multiple huge battery backups. Definitely not going to fly with those bad boys. They look mega huge. Now, way in. Let's go up to the top. Let's walk one of these things. So you can get up these places. There was another. It looked like there's an outer gate and an inner gate. So I went up one of the inner gates last night, and it was quite nice. So this is a rooftop view of ancient city. You can see down past this big tree there, right down the centre. That's another gate, and I believe they've got the whole north, south, east, west gate system going on here. So I think I'm on the south gate. That's just the inner section. So it's just a ginormous shopping centre. It's just incredibly sized. But that's for the interest of today. It's getting up there. Get up that mountain. So that's going to be $66 plus the couple bucks in shuttle fares if I take both ways. Shuttles and taxis and DDs are quite cheap over here. From the airport yesterday it cost me $8 for an hour. It's quite a drive. I didn't expect it to be so. There we go. Still a walk around. I didn't expect it to be so far away. I thought it was going to be like a half hour, but a bit of a drive. So you could see the old and the new city. So we were going to the older part, but then on the closer to the airport, around that side of the lake, around sort of the middle between the two, there was modernised buildings, constructions, and modernised hotels with closer access to the water. So, as you can see, at night they some sneaky bird up there, I think. They look really nice. Some of them have got shops in the middle too. This one's got a shop around the other side. They're definitely a place for the ladies here to get their photos in front of the older structures. They get high costumes. So the Yunnan province costumes, very scenic. Here's one lady dressed up. So there we go. we broke into one of their private photo sessions. But they get dressed up. There's got these a lot of these centres or shops where you can hire the clothing. The guys can hire too. One of the other ones is where they're wearing like these woolen ponchos. So I don't know how cold it gets here. It reminded me of the poncho that Clint Eastwood wears in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. If you ever watched that, it's there's another little side gate. Let's go down here. We'll go back to the information centre. So the poncho looks quite nice. So they can hire. You can buy those ponchos. They've got a quite good style here. You don't get. It's not. You don't get too many people cosplaying as much as other places I've seen so far. But you've got definitely a themed costumes that are going on. They do like their flowery dresses too, which is, I don't know if that's a trend. And they've got the, there we go. Anyway, you can see I'm back outside the main outer gate, back in the tourist centre. So we're going to go to the information place now. Gonna get my ticket to the van and be back shortly. Information service, scenic shuttle bus service, where you get your van. I imagine they might go to other locations too. I haven't got that well organised yet. Might do some more exploring and find out what else they go to later on. But the next part was getting to the shuttle cable car. So see you then. So, the best $1 you ever spend is actually a bit of altitude to get to this location. But it looks like there's a film studio here as well. So we are on this map. This is a film studio that we drove past, and here is the cable car. Hopefully that is correct. So we buy the ticket in here, and then that appears to be the entry to the cable car. Right, let's buy a ticket. Ticket acquired. 345 yuan, so it comes out to around about $69. And that takes you up to the Cangshan Ropeway. So that's got the midway point that you change over to a new car, and it looks like there'd be a looking point up there as well. So you will need your passport as well. Don't leave home without it. It's China. So that'd be embarrassing if you didn't take your passport. Go back to town and get it. But they scan that, it's like they do anywhere. Now, I believe take the shuttle bus to the cable car. Looks like they've got... Interesting. I have to find out. Looks like they've got another shuttle service. The shuttle service that takes you up to the cableway. Part of the ticket. Oh well, let's just confirm. Be back shortly.
山景区范围内，请智慧交通博种禁止携带博种进山，禁止吸烟，违者重罚。谢谢您的合作，祝您旅途愉快。各位游客，你好，您现在来自。
So, you can buy cans of oxygen, 60 yuan. So, jackets and hoodies and you name it. And we are in. I was with some other people on the bus. I just took my time, I just put my jacket on. I let them go first. So then I got my own little carriage. So, interesting to compare this, what it's like, to other cableways I've been on. So, been to some cableways in Vietnam, and went up the one at Da Nang, which is in the central of Vietnam. That takes you up to a little like Vietnamese version of Disney World. Everything's fake up there. I think there used to be some French wineries up there, but this is looking good. This has got some climb to it. This has got some climb. Oh yeah. There we go. I don't think you're going to walk up this place. It'll take a while to walk up. But altitude-wise, you can feel the coldness just by getting the shuttle bus up to the ticket place, and then they've got that little bus that goes up that winding path, riding road up to the lower cable car station. It's very green. That's sort of nice about everything so far. It's always very green. They do spend a lot of money in irrigation for the farmers. I can see that sort of infrastructure, but you got water flowing down there. There's a creek. Anyway, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
根据《中华人民共和国森林法》、国务院森林防火条例和云南省森林消防条例的有关规定，特通告如下：一、每年的12月1号至次年的6月30号为森林防火期；2月1号至5月31号为森林防火高危火险期、戒严期。二、进入我市林内的人员必须自觉遵守如下火源管理的规定：一、防火期内严格实行10不准，即不准焚香烧纸，不准燃放鞭炮，不准进山吸烟，不准打猎驱兽，不准烧风，不准烧炭，不准在野外烤火、烘烤食品和烧火做饭，不准烧山开荒、炼山造林和烧牧场，不准用火把照明，不准玩火。二、苍山林区、西湖山林区、飞坡区、天然林保护及退耕还林绿化区、新造林区及洱海东岸山坡绿化区是我市的重点林区。在整个森林防火期内， 严禁一切野外用火和燃放孔明灯等引发森林火灾的行为。3、其他林区因特殊情况需要生产用火的，必须在森林防火高危火警期戒严期前，经申报批准，做好严厉防范措施后方可进行。4、入山人员必须接受护林员和护林防火管理人员的监督检查，严禁将火种和易燃物品带入山林内。5、在我市辖区山林内进行施工及经营的单位和个人，需报山林管辖的乡镇人民政府批准，报市森林防火办公室备案，并按规定交纳防火风险抵押金，接受森林防火部门的管理。3、以上规定望全体公民共同遵守，互相监督。违反本规定野外用火的，依法依规对个人和单位进行处罚；已造成山林火灾的，要赔偿林木损失和负责扑火所支付的一切费用；情节严重的，要依法追究刑事责任。森林火警电话12119，大理市森林防火指挥部办公室电话2670058。
全程票的游客，请您听从工作人员指示，继续换乘2号索道上车。半程票的游客也可以在中间站补票后继续上车。谢谢您的认同。
Up here. So you go exit 1 and straight into the second one. So it appears you can do your look-see at the midpoint on the way back down. Bit of moisture on the windows, so we'll see how fast we get up there. You can feel the coldness. I'm wearing my shorts. Got my beanie. I think I'll need that up the top. I'm off to go Chinese. Get an Guessing they got jackets up there if it's too cold. Here we go.
我们往下方的山谷看一下，下方就是我们专属代表区西龙饮食。西龙饮食位于马头峰与玉石口之间的路线。相传西龙饮食是洱海龙王陆龙椅沐浴休息的场所。每到傍晚时分，龙椅们就会到这里，按照年龄大小依次选择一盆水沐浴休息。 溪水绵绵不绝，清澈见底。由于溪中水边落差不大，流水迂回婉转，周围巨石千奇百怪，池水一潭比一潭小，景致一潭比一潭奇，水色十分清澈。走到上升到海拔3200米后，我们看到的是高山竹林带，大多是木林材，这片区域也是。
So, heading down the mountain. Bugger, that's cold. I got my thin little gloves I bought. I couldn't pack the heavy stuff because I wasn't expecting to be hitting cold areas on this trip. But Jesus, it's cold. I got my woolly hat, super thin hat, and glad I bought that. But I've got I should have bought my other jacket, fluffy jacket. I wasn't expecting to be so cold. The lady, the information said it was going to be bitterly cold. I would have packed more, but she said, "Oh, it just gets a bit cold up there." So I don't know if she's been up here or not, but oh my god, my fingers are freezing to the bones. I went outside, and the visibility's like that. It's a pea soup. It's still a bit raining up too, so if you're going to walk up the top, you either basically need to be packing a good umbrella or a raincoat. You can get them up there, but they sell these big long, they rent them out for about 100 yuan. Looks like that's what they rent them out for, so $20. And even if I put on my thick jacket, on my sort of puffy jacket I've got, which is short sleeve, which goes under this, I still would have been cold. So. But then you would have walked to the top, you would have got wet. You would have got wet fingers because your hands would have been exposed to the weather. My legs would have been bitterly frozen. And you would have got to the top and you still would have seen shit because it's pea soup. So I wussed out. I'm going back halfway down the mountain where I think there's views, because you can walk out, there's a viewing tower I saw halfway up the mountain, and then go back to the ground level where it's warm. If you're travelling like me and travelling with the backpack, you just can't take all the winter gear with you. And I took a bit of winter gear with me, but just in case I bought a jacket, and you can see my some suits, some thin stuff, just to take to wear and where it might be getting a bit nippy, but not for Chinese weather, not for Chinese cold, not for the temperatures I hear that far north you can get -25 in winter. That's just bitterly cold. That are basically, you got to buy your own stuff when you get across here. Even the stuff we have in Australia, it's not good enough. But I think it's cheaper over here too. You can buy that stuff over here using the Chinese apps and not spend a great deal of summer money, because the winter clothes are quite affordable. That's what I understand. I've been listening to some travellers that have been through that area in far north China. But as a backpacker type style, travelling at the moment with the backpack and a small backpack, I just don't have the space. Anyway, let's see what the centre or the midway base station's got for views. hopefully get onto this fog cloud and get to see some views. And because I'm not seeing Deadly Squad at the moment, it's this pea soup. What can you see? 10 metres. You can see them coming out of the fog. Yeah, like you're just going into, descending into nothingness. It's very high and very cold, so bring some warm stuff with you if you're going to come up here. So you get visibility around about halfway down. The fog peters out, stacking your view again, so we can see our midway points down here coming up shortly. What they should have is some signage up in the about, in English at least, to make it easier for us dumb foreigners to say how bitterly cold it is. In New Zealand there's this there was a motorbike ride called the Brass Monkeys, because it was saying it was so cold it frees the balls of a brass monkey. This is fucking brass monkey cold. To go up there you need really solid skiing gloves, not these little thin things I've got. These are like underlayer gloves, but they're good for travelling because they're super thin. The touchpad is good for the screens too, so that's why I got these ones, so I can use the screen. But you can hire it, you can get the jacket up there and hire, but I don't think it's enough. You need the gloves as well, and you need to take a beanie, because the jackets have got hoods, but oh my god, and a scarf. Scarf is needed up there because it's so cold. There was snow sitting around outside the cafe too, so it's a couple degrees cold. I didn't see any signage to say how cold it was, but there was snow sitting underneath, so I'm going to put it as a sub minus centigrade. God, my fingers are still cold. I can feel them. I can feel the coldness in the bones. And I was only outside for about a couple of minutes, if that, maybe 2 minutes, when I was determining if I was going to go out for a walk. But it was still drizzling, but it was just bitterly cold. So here we are. These are quite nice. Definitely I think the biggest gondola I've been on. So $66, or sorry, $69. Is it worth it? On a good day, and you went up there and you had the winter gear with you, and you were going, and you had visibility. I think so. To me, it's a light fleecing, $69. It's a bit like walking into a freezer. I'm walking into a walk-in freezer for about 10-15 minutes and going, oh, I dropped the phone. Did I have a good time? Well, without the right gear, you're not going to have a good time. I think up here, it's a bit of a punty day. I think if it's not, you just got to try and do your best to make sure you don't go, if it looks foggy, it's probably going to be shit up the top. Again, the fog kills it because you can't have any vision. It is what it is. Like I say, I went on a big ass gondola ride, aka cable car, they call over here. So, no complaints. Thinking about the other ones now, because you're not so high. The other one's to a temple. I think you can get a package for 254 yuan. I saw it at the information centre. So what's that? $50 Australian. That included the bus and a sightseeing bus. I don't know what that sightseeing bus is supposed to be doing, because I understand the gondola ride, well, it's 5 yuan each way on the sightseeing bus, so there's 10, and the cable car, I believe, is 130 yuan to go up to the temple, but it's not as high as this. This is far higher where the temple's going to be. So that's around about $26. So I don't know where they get the 254 from it. They did say there's a sightseeing bus, but it'll be in Chinese. So those are non-Chinese speaker. That's a bit of a waste of time for me because I'm not going to get diddly squat out of it. This place is very popular, Dali. It's super popular with the tourists. Super popular. There is a the phone goes again. Next week's going to be arenas, I think, because it's going to be the 1st of May, and 1st of May is the Golden Week. Not as bad as the other Golden Week, but my understanding is that you got people going, a lot of people travelling to see their family for the first couple of days, and then they'll become tourists. So I'm expecting places like Dali and other non-tourist places to be quite popular. So based on the information I had, was to park yourself for the duration, and I'm doing that. I've got a hotel for the 5 days for that duration, and just going to chillax and just chill, just drink coffee, read a book, and really just vegetate for a few days, which is good. I'm happy doing that at the moment. And here we come in, midway point. So the midway point, you can get out and have a bit of a look around. Got some viewing platforms. They have got a trek that you can go down a hike, and it's got this little elevator service. I'm trying to find it where it is. It costs 50 yuan for a return trip. So you can go down here. It's like those old steam clicker machines to go down an elevator, take you down, and looks like you can walk around to some extent around the paths here. Now on a good day I would think, yeah, it might do that, but it is still raining here at the midway point too, so, and it's still a bit nippy, and I don't have a proper raincoat, so I think that would be an interesting stop. You can go for a wander down there. So I'm assuming you can get a wander, do a loop and come back, because it's a 50, the operator at here said it's 50 yuan for a return trip. So I didn't know that before I came up. But it does look interesting. Oh, that's a pity. It's a pity. Anyway, it is raining, so I'm going to wander back upstairs and go back down to the lower.